साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुंडलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः।
Hello, Ariane.
Hello, Rita. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to all our audience.
How are you?
Good, and yourself?
Very good, thank you. Excited about today's program. I think you have got a great lineup, and what a deep topic about the spirit and the soul.
Yes, indeed, yes. And what a lovely program we had last Friday with Monica and Mother Earth.
Absolutely.
Yes, such an important topic.
Absolutely. Did you want to recap last week?
Sorry?
Did you want to recap last week what we had done a little bit with the Mother Earth? Because that was just such a deep meditation working with the Muladhara, and that wasn't it?
Yes, yes. And I think Monica really highlighted so beautifully how the Mother Earth is part of the first chakra, and that for us it's a way to really feel more relaxed, and that it's part of innocence, and it's part of our meditative journey, really. Yeah. So we connected because the Kundalini is connected to the Mother Earth. It's in the Mother Earth. So yeah, it was very, very beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And today is the perfect, then after that it's a great follow-up, isn't it? Because we're doing the spirit awakening of the Kundalini, the mother, through the heart, and then up to the Sahasrara, the union of the, the spirit with the divine, and that's a perfect topic. Talking about that, I think we've got Craig as our presenter today, as
Yes.
the lead. So
hello, Craig.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, welcome to our day 32 of our series, The Spirit and the Soul. I am very, very curious about this topic, because we often hear about the soul, but we are not always sure what it's actually the difference. And I'm sure you were going to give us a little bit of a extra explanation about that. But before we start, Craig, because it's the first time you present, and we're very delighted that you are presenting tonight, could you tell us a little bit about your journey and how you found out Sahaja Yoga, what actually drew you towards Sahaja Yoga, and Yeah, and what has been your journey so far?
Sure. I received my realization in 1985. Just finished an applied science degree and felt dissatisfied that it hadn't answered deeper questions about it, what it was like to be a human being and what the purpose of living was all about. I heard a radio cart, that's a radio advertisement, as I was driving down the freeway, where they had promised that there is a potential power inside every person contained in the sacrum, and that the power of that center would comfort, redeem those who allowed this energy to express itself. I was absolutely hooked and fascinated that all of the living potential of being and transformation was contained spontaneously inside. And so since then, it's been some years. It's true, it's been some years. And I must say, it is a hypothesis that's placed before all of us, that there is a living potential energy of transformation known as the Kundalini, coiled mothering energy. When you have the pure desire for self-knowledge, the purest desire to know the divinity, then this energy awakens spontaneously at the right or the most auspicious moment to give you your realization. And this energy, as it expresses itself on the nervous system, has a spark in the heart, which brings the consciousness of the divine into your attention, which means into your brain, where you become aware of a new reality, a collective consciousness. And if you accept it as a hypothesis, once this awakening has occurred, you transform yourself as long as you are open and surrendered to this, for this process to occur. And it matters not. It matters not any perception of any mistakes or sins, if you like, that you may think you have accrued, because the Kundalini is protected by a pure energy of wisdom and auspiciousness. So she awakens from the base of the nervous system and expresses herself in an integrated state where all of the, we call them subtle centers or pithas, are vibrating. And when they vibrate, you become knowledgeable or self-aware or knowing thyself, as the oracle at Delphi was described by Socrates. Sorry about that, it was a bit long-winded.
Oh, that is beautiful. That's okay. Absolutely enjoying listening to you. Especially, I love the way you're saying it's the spark in the heart that's igniting, you know, and that is true. And as you said, it is the nervous system, isn't it? It is science in a different way. So to take it as a hypothesis, to try delve into it, to try and get that strengthened, or to experience that depth as much as we can, because it is through our nervous system. It is through that autonomous nervous system. We talk about, you know, the sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous system, and it's through this nervous system that we that is expressing itself, that you know, that we are feeling the energy centers in us. So very excited for today's program, Arya.
Yes. And Craig, just briefly, can you give us a little bit of an understanding of the spirit and the soul? What's different? Because we often say, oh, this person is a good soul or is an old soul, and what does it mean if we hear that?
Well, I'm no expert except a participant in the experimentation of myself. But having said that, I have the knowledge of the physiology of the body. My background is allied health. So this the expression of the spirit, of the spark of consciousness that makes us collectively conscious, exists only because evolution has built us very gently and very lovingly over so much of time. And now is the awakening time for the mass of humanity. We're actually best not to think about it. So the spirit is a reflection of the divinity within us. So it's not existent in the body, but existed in consciousness. I guess it's metaphysics. So that's the first thing. But the manifestation of spirit as the Kundalini rises very definitely articulates the subtle of the elements that can be seen in the proteins which surround every cell. So the structure of the human is such that we have the main nerve plexes throughout the body that's distributed, which you can see. And if you're sensitive, you can also see the rising of the Kundalini. And we are the structure. We call them chakras or wheels of expression of energy. And they have special qualities which we've talked about and can be taught. But the best teaching is to assert for yourself how you're out of balance, how to clear your attention, and how to bring your attention into silence and collective consciousness. In effect, you become your own teacher. This very first, in a moment, we'll listen to a Rag Kunz, which helps to stimulate the subtle of the void area. The void is where all the Adi gurus are said to reside, where they can be expressed on your nervous system, and they give you direction and contentment. So I will say souls are of every variety of human being, but the divinity is of only one completeness, one whole of consciousness. But that is so easy to say, and it is a hypothesis before all that they should have that experience of the spirit, which is the consciousness or the reflection of the God Almighty.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for that wonderful explanation, Greg. And without further ado, we might leave you to it. Shall we, Rita? Or do you have anything else to say?
Absolutely. I think I have Rag Nirmal Khan's actually today lined up for, which with, as you were saying, Craig, the Nadi, but more of the Sahasrara. So that will be an integration of all the chakras that's going to happen to start with. So we'll leave you, yes, Craig, if you don't mind. And I think you've lined up, we start with the meditation, you'll do the raising Kundalini and that, followed by Mother's talks. Yeah?
Yes, yes, thank you, Rita.
No worries at all. Just give me a few minutes.
Participants on the call. Yes, so if I could invite everyone to join together in meditation. So we will raise the Kundalini and put ourselves in abundance.
Just give me a second. I'm trying to find my...
So we'll listen to Rag Nirmal Kunz as we allow ourselves to go into meditation for some.
Yes, just
there's no hurry. The silence is inside, so regardless. So let's just close eyes for 5 minutes, bring attention into Sahasrara. And here we can ask that Mother Kundalini, please keep my attention in Sahasrara. Please bring me deeper into meditation. Please help establish my realization. Please allow me to surrender. State of meditation happens in an instant. There's space between the thoughts. Surrender the thoughts. Forgive the thoughts. I am not these thoughts. The vibrations are flowing nicely now. We'll have another opportunity after this short 5-minute talk and excerpt where Shri Mataji speaks to us about the nature of the spirit.
everything for us, everything. There's a way of our germination which has to take place, and when it takes place, one has to be in the present. And how do you do it? Not by listening to any lecture or going to any sort of a library to find out, or you cannot do it again with this brain that is today. You have to have a brain which has that spark in it, that light in it, enlightened brain. You have to be an enlightened person. Unless and until you are enlightened, you cannot see your way through. You do not know. You are walking in the dark. Really, you are walking in the dark. And when this light comes into you, that is the light within us, placed there all the time, is the light of our spirit. It has to come in our attention. And God has arranged everything for us, everything. There's a way of our germination which has to take place. And when it takes place, you can feel that spirit in your attention. Now there is another misunderstanding I find people have about spirit. They think spirit is an energy. It is not. It's not an energy. Energy can be transformed, it can be changed, it can be evolved, it can be handled and all that. Spirit is not. Spirit is absolute. It cannot be compared with anything else that you know of. It is an absolute thing. It resides in your heart. It's a reflection of God Almighty within ourselves. And you cannot call it an energy. Energy can be finished off, spent away, it can disappear into thin air. Not the spirit. It's a permanent entity. It is absolute by itself and it cannot be compared with anything else. I mean, just to give an analogy, one can say something. But that's a different point. Just to give. But you cannot compare an absolute with anything that is relative. So that's an absolute thing within you, which resides in your heart. And when this residual power of Kundalini rises, it ignites the attention within you with this spark of the spirit. Now supposing this light is here, take it. If you put on this light, of course this light is an energy, so you cannot compare with anything, that's the trouble. But still you say this is the light. Now this light enlightens this whole atmosphere and we start seeing things here clearly. But do you think that light which is there is the one that is your attention? Not at all. Your attention is enlightened by that light. The light enlightens your attention. By that attention, you can feel the all-pervading power, the divine power, the energy of God, the divine energy of God, the energy of love of God. You can feel it because it's a connecting link. Spirit is the connecting link, but it is completely absolute. It just connects you to that all-pervading power. That all-pervading power. I think we have talked about creation when we said that the whole Parabrahma became the energy and God Almighty, which was lost in the Parabrahma, means a sleeping state, became the witness. Now this witness is in the heart of human beings. This witness is all the time there. When it disappears, you do not exist. So it is not an energy. One has to understand, actually somebody has written a book on Sahaja Yoga, and when I was going through it, I was shocked to read that he thinks that spirit is an energy. So energy, the Shakti is not that spirit, the spirit is not Shakti. They have to meet. They have to meet so that the enlightenment in human being, the chitta, takes place.
We'll continue with our meditation. We're going to listen to the Bhavani Ashtakam by Nikki Wells. This is an explanation, it's a shloka, so it's an explanation to this Shakti. That is the manifestation of the energy that surrounds us, that brings us reality. It's the spirit which gives us the consciousness of the pure reality. We're free from all our misidentifications of teachings and our own ambitions that lead us astray.
न तातो न माता न बन्धुर्न ताता न पुत्रो न पुत्री न भृत्यो न भर्ता न जाया न वेद्या न वृत्तिर्ममैव कतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि कतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि भवद्भावपारे महादुःखभीरु पपाथा प्रकामे प्रलोभे प्रमथा कसंसारपाश प्रबधा सदाहम् कतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि कतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि न जानामि ध्यानं न च ध्यानयोगम् न जानामि तन्त्रं न च स्तोत्रमन्त्रम् न जानामि पूजं न चान्यासयोगम् गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि न जानामि पुण्यं न जानामि तीर्थम् न जानामि मुक्तिं लयं वा कदाचित् न जानामि भक्तिं वृतं वापि माता गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि त्वमेका भवानि त्वमेका
The life of a Sahaja is a life of joy and praise for the beauty, the manifest beauty of reality, the Shakti, which is Shri Mataji and Meditative. And we will go on to listen to another talk, and we'll be back with you after that.
I'm happy that you all were meditating here and were trying to develop your depth. You all have depth, a very deep personality within yourself. But we have to touch that. That's very important. Because, you see, we sing, have music, that's a very good thing. We enjoy each other's company also is very good. And that's a nice thing. But we have to enjoy our own company also. By meditating, going within yourself. Now, what is the use? One may ask, Mother, now we have got realization, we have a nice life, we are enjoying ourselves, we are doing so well. The deeper you go, the deeper you touch the essences of all the things, like all the elements. When you had finished your meditation, you saw how the rain fell down, how the rain came suddenly. So rain has felt your depth, or you have felt the depth of rain. Now you know that if you light one little candle and put your finger towards it, with my photograph there, it acts, it reacts, and it gives you a flame which burns, sometimes gives you smoke, sometimes it gallops. So you have noticed that there's a reaction even in the fire. So all elements have got an effect. If a saint wants to have an effect, but first of all you must reach your own essences. Once you reach your own essences, then you reach the essences of all the elements. And then you can handle all the elements as you like, or you can order them as you like. First, they will act, expressing that they have been touched. Like today, the rain came, pouring down. Then, later on, you can command, and you can ask the rain to come, to work out many things. Of that kind, we have to be deep. We have to go much deeper within ourselves to touch our essences. That is, you know very well that all our chakras are made out of these essences. And when we go deep into ourselves, what we find that we can touch the elements very well. While doing so, actually we move horizontally. When we start moving horizontally, at the core of it, we find that there are these essences placed. And these essences then start exciting the essences across. Like in the radio, you have seen this ether. Now, when you speak on one side of the radio, it gets completely manifested in the essence of the ether, and then everybody can hear it. Now, when you people just give a bandhan, sometimes you find that you have communicated with another person. But that's only the essence of the ether, or we can say the subtler of the subtlest. People have only gone onto the subtler side, we can say, by science, but you go to the subtlest side, and that subtlest side gives you all these effects. Now you have seen also that in some of the photographs, suddenly you find light coming out of my head, or there's somebody shown us with a light, somebody's from the head, the light is coming. You have seen all this. This is done also by the same method, but here the deities like Vishnu Maya works out. She's very active, she works it out, she does all these things. And you know that also, that when they gave me once a beautiful crown in Switzerland, in the sky, they got the photograph of the same, very beautifully done. The crown was there, Fatima's crown, my face, my eyes and everything so clearly. All this is done by Vishnu Maya. So all the essences are working out for you, as well as all the deities are working out for you. They are very anxious that these things should be done, and you are the channels for them to work it out. Now, for example, as I told you the other day, if you don't keep yourself all right, a simple thing I told you to put in the nose some ghee. It's a very simple thing, but that helps me a lot, because that helps my Vishuddhi. But if you don't do it, I suck in any case. Whatever problems you have, I suck in. I suck in the problem of Sahajogis, also the problem of the city where I am, also the problem of the country where I am, maybe of the whole universe. But my horizontal movement is quite large and is very subtle, and I do it quietly. But you must also understand that you can do a lot by your horizontal movement. By horizontal movement, what happens? That you start meditating on a particular subject, which is a very bothersome subject, and which is for the destructive of humanity. Anything. You just put your attention to it and meditate. If you are that deep, that means if your caliber has improved to that extent, you will immediately put an effect on that. Immediately you will see there will be a change. There will be something happening in that direction. This is your power, which you have to actually develop. So we have to meditate, and by meditation we develop that strength within us. So automatically we start solving the problem. Like our anti-Negro up to that point, the way we are strong inside, they grow outside to help so many things which are to be helped. Now you see that people are realizing that the world is in a great mess, and there are lots of problems that have come through materialism, through wrong thinking, through emotional thinking, through stupidity, we can say. We have no time for all this. What we have to do is to develop ourselves deeper and deeper and deeper, so that on horizontal plane also we are effective. Sahaja Yoga, first of all, is for personal improvement, is for the inner improvement as far as the personal side is concerned. Means your intelligence must improve, your temperament must improve, your heart must clear out, your feelings must be all right, then you should, your health should be all right, then your relationship with others should be all right, your ego should go away, your superego should go away. All these things are there. But this only helps a personality, just a personality that is very limited, that is yourself. But now this personality can become an instrument if you can develop that depth within yourself. But normally what happens, people are very much still worried about themselves, say about their wives, about their children, about their husbands or their household or this and that. These are not important things, because we have to be those instruments which are what you call them like pilotless bombs. We have to develop that depth within us. That depth is possible, and you can really cure many problems of your country if you could just meditate on that. Now for today, I had actually sucked in most of the problems which I felt were there in Canberra, and later on in that conference, and later on here. All these problems came into my understanding, I would say, and I was trying to work on them. My working style is different because I have very sharp and very effective instruments, but I have to pay attention to it, and I a little bit suffer also, doesn't matter. Now for you also, it is important that you also develop those deeper feelings within you, deeper sense within you. But mostly people are very superficial type. They just think about their body, their impressions, how they carry themselves. At the most they think we have to be very legal minded, or we have to be at the most not drinking, not smoking, and all these things are achieved and we have achieved everything. But I think that is not so. And second point is that we think that if we love each other, if we love mother, that is the end of everything. It's not true also. Because your love for me is there, no doubt, and it should be intense, it should be deeper. But the deeper you go into that love, then you will be surprised how you receive a special quality of correcting the things that are wrong around you. Gradually that quality improves. For example, a Sahaja Yogi goes to anybody's house, that house must become auspicious. But such a Sahaja Yogi must have a good heart. If the heart is not good, in the heart there is still anger, passion, lust, greed, then such a heart won't affect. But a person who has purified himself, if he goes into any family, any household, any society, the whole change will take place. The circumstances will change. Things that do not work out will start working out immediately. Like they said, Mother, as soon as you sent from this Sunday, everything started working out as far as the television is concerned and radio is concerned. I didn't do anything, in a way. But that should happen with you also. Wherever a saint goes, things are changing. But you have to be a saint. And a saintly person has a very deep understanding of another person. And this is what it is lacking. we don't have that deep understanding for each other, then even if you have for some of your own friends, or maybe in the same ashram that you are staying and all that, but it should deepen much more. It should go further and further. Now even if you think of me, it works out. It's the other way around also. But first of all, the meditative process should be increased. We all must meditate. That is very important. Meditate sincerely, not just because we have to meditate, but because we have to be deep, we have to grow within, to express our great powers of divine love, to correct so many things, which you can do very easily. I know you all can do it. There's no need to have big degrees for that, big education for that. Nothing is needed. What is needed is a deep feeling of love for the whole universe, and that changes. All destructive forces change their course, and it is then for the constructive force. But on the whole, that works out much faster if you all do that meditation with sincerity, with intensity, with understanding. All right? May God bless you. It is
much more than our music, much more than my lectures. That's it. And now the course has to change. I'm sure it will be reflected.
Otherwise, I'm not sharing now. So I let it go. Why is it playing still? Oh, hi, Craig. Sorry, I didn't realize I was unmuted. That was very funny. Hi, Ariane. That was just amazing talk, wasn't it?
Yes.
That was so beautiful. Great program. Thank you very much, Craig. I think we do a question and answer session now normally. And if you wanted to add on something more.
I'm happy. What can you say when your attention is in connection with the divine consciousness? You would have to say, I will hope that anyone that's new that's listening to this would take the courage and have an experiential faith that they can also expand their attention and awareness in a way which helps to bring a harmony and peace to world affairs.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I suppose that's the main thing, isn't it? It's not just about ourselves, it's actually being able to project that peace outside and to help help the world and help people around the world, instances around the world, problems around the world, and having our attention on the bigger picture. But Ariane, as you were saying, the spirit, we say, is a higher consciousness within us, right? So I think you were saying at the start, between spirit and soul is what the program was about. Is that right? So how do we differentiate between that? Because when we meditate, we are saying, I am the spirit. And as you said, that's that higher consciousness. And as Craig was saying, that spark in our heart that's, connecting us to the divine. And I think my understanding with in terms of soul is what is that, your spirit, it's basically with the 5 elements that Shri Mataji was talking about. So when we say the body is made of 5 elements, so, when we pass away, or not in the physical body, it's all that memory of the elements with our spirit, everything together is the soul. So that kind of then becomes one entity or a different consciousness. Yeah.
So beautifully said. I guess what most people don't recognize is that you can have a attentional awareness of your soul into the next life. It's a very, I was just as an aside, because I can't help it, I was reading about the religion that was formed by one of the deities, Shri Mataji, and that's the Jain religion. But one of their very interesting maxims is that you can not know something, you can know something, you can know something and not be able to describe it, and you can not know something and not know how to describe it, and you can know something also and not be able to describe it or not express it. And I think the soul very much fits into one of those categories of, if you know yourself, then of course you know your own condition, but it makes no sense in a way to discuss it other than this is so important to understand a purpose, a purposeful, a meaningful, satisfying mechanism of living.
Yes, absolutely. That I think yes, to know, you can know yourself and not know, and I think that comes, as you were saying, with the your next life, or that they say that you do sometime, the memory of your lifetimes is there in your Kundalini. That's the record of all your existence, basically, is that's the elements and all that knowledge and everything else that's there. So as we say, the knowledge is within ourselves, so it's just tapping into that, into the soul system, and getting to know and understand ourselves. Yes, a topic that is too vast, I think.
I think for someone perhaps that may be listening, that's kind of struggling with an issue, just to know that counselor, redeemer, that's her Shakti,
That's right.
and you can find that, and you can find that it's there. I guess it's there. It's a hypothesis, yes, but it's only a small step. It's only a very small step in your attention to create a new awareness about self.
That's right. And I think it's sometimes that fear of the unknown, because, like I was, I suppose I explained to the kids, once upon a time, people, would say the earth is flat until they kind of discovered it's not flat. So just because, you don't understand it, or you can't see it, or you don't know of it, doesn't mean that it doesn't exist and it's there. So our soul system and that knowledge and the experience kind of comes into that whole category, So yes, take it as a hypothesis, do your experiment, and see what the results are. And we are all here to help kind of understand those results, and to then, get do more experimentation, I suppose, to get better results or different results. So it doesn't look like we've got any questions, unless I think Parth is chat enabled. Yes, chat is enabled. So did you have anything else to add, Ariane? Because I just had a beautiful meditation. I've got some music lined up. We can listen and sit back and meditate. Or
that we can finish with the Bandhan, but before that, really, Craig really highlighted the fact that we have a deeper personality within us. That's what Shri Mataji was saying, but he kind of also highlighted that we have much more to know about ourselves than we may believe before we find Sahaja Yoga. Yeah, so it's a great opportunity to deepen and find out the depth of who we are, isn't it, Craig?
I think so. Look, it's been a wonderful, for myself, every day I wake up, I praise the Devi, and look forward to another day of watching. It's the best. Look, really, meditation is the best entertainment. Absolutely, absolutely. Watching your own mind, twist itself up in knots. Of course, there is a space between thoughts, and I think this is really what surprises people, is they associate so deeply with what they're thinking and what they're told to think, their past experiences, and where they think they need to place energy as ambition for the future, that they forget that the present reality is a joyful state and an entertaining state. I'm going to add.
Beautifully said.
Beautifully said, absolutely.
So shall we do the bandhan together?
Absolutely.
Yes. Put the hand and go around. First time we do 1 knot. Second time we do 2 knots. And the third time we do 3 knots. And then we do the bandhan of protection 7 times around our aura. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Rita.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Please stay back and enjoy some music with meditation. I've got Brian's rendition of Harpal Vicharame Vichate, which is that, she's in your attention and your thoughts all the time, on cello. It's beautiful. So please enjoy.
Thank you.